Hello, welcome to the Austin Community College Fashion Incubator Workshop Wednesday. My name is Michelle Washington, and I'm the instructional coordinator. One of the things that we love to feature on Workshop Wednesdays is valuable fashion industry information, and we are very proud of our partnership with Gerber Technology. One of my favorite software programs is the YuniquePLM, especially the color coding, color picking, and blending system. And I'd like to show you just one of the highlights. Ready? Let's begin. Now, as you can see, we have a very basic screen when we begin with our color system. And what I like with YuniquePLM, you are actually able to choose what default setting that you would like to have on your screen. This particular screen, I've chosen just a plain setting. And in your own settings, you can choose something more. It can be an image history screen or an image search or material search screen. It's really up to you. But in this instance, we can see that we have all of the tools that we need on the left-hand side. Now, look at how everything is lined up and that there are arrows. These are our toggles. I can open them or I can close them. So I'm closing a few just to get us back to the top. And as I close them, you can also see that there are a lot more of different areas open to explore. Just for example, in image, there's 3 levels of image search. And for materials, 3 levels of material search. And I can close these back so that we can see down further. We also have style. So you can search for the style that you have in the system. There's also line list as well as development calendar. Now there are so much and many more listed. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to specifically look under color. So color is located at the top. And once we hit the toggle, that's going to drop down 3 levels. We can color search as well as color library. And notice how new tabs tend to open. It's very important to keep track of your tabs as you maneuver through the YuniquePLM system. I'm going to actually close this tab and show you that there's also color history. Now, with each of these, they're carefully placed and lined up. I'm going to go back to color search. So you can see that there is a history and a library of all the color palettes that have been previously made. Now, with this, we're going to create a new color palette. So first thing we're going to look for is the add button, which is actually located at the top right-hand side. So this is the button that you want to search for when you start your new palette. We will select plus for addition. And of course, as you highlight, it says new because this is a new palette. Notice that a new tab opened. Now, you know that you're in the right place as soon as you see new color palette. So with this, we have some fields to make decisions about. We're going to enter in information. Now, let's look at the calendar. I'm going to actually select for this exercise, Gerber Example Production Development Calendar. The type, I'm going to leave it as seasonal. The palette name, I'm welcome to name it anything. So I'm actually just for the purpose of this going to name it in all capital letters so I can quickly find it. Workshop. Now, with that, I'm also going to leave this as yes. So this is presently active. Now, after you fill in all of your fields, the next thing to do is always save your information. It's a good habit to have. So we're going to look for the save icon. Now, if any of you know what a floppy disk is, you will notice that this closely resembles a floppy disk, and this will always be your save button. So I'm going to select that, and you see as I hover, it also says save. So I'm going to click this. And you will notice that the system did recognize and save exactly what I needed. So here it is. And of course, to find it quickly, I typed workshop in capital letters. You will see that it says not started because, well, I haven't started choosing any colors at this moment. And you will notice that all of the other fields have remained. Now, there's a part that says no records found. That's because I have not started the project that we have come here to start, which is a new palette. Colors, 0 comments. So all of this lets us know that we are at the beginning phases. Also, this system will save it under your name so you can see who created it. Now, we are here to create a palette, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to look for colors. And with colors, we want to add a new palette. So this is an icon that we recognize from before. I'm going to select this. Notice a new tab opens. And now we are in the new palette screen. With this, we will notice on the left-hand side that there is a huge array of color palettes to choose from and select individual colors should we choose. Now, you will look and see that this is already a default. So if you work for a certain company or you have colors that you use primarily or often for your design studio, your color studio, your brand, you're going to have those colors as a default that pop up right in this section anytime that you start your new palette. And that's kind of a handy thing to have, something that you can refer to right away because you know you're going to pull from that color. Now, our colors in the fashion industry are Pantone, but you may have noticed some of these colors have their own name. And you would say, exactly how is that possible? Well, when you begin to blend and mix and develop your own color, we can call it a custom color. When you do that, you're able to name your color. And we will actually get into that in a different presentation. But we're just going to explore the palettes that already exist in the color chips that are under each. Down below, we have Pantone Coated. And you will notice that this is a nice array of light to warm yellows and oranges, and a little bit of, let's say, a brown and khaki accent to add to those colors. And this is a nice offering that I can choose at any time. Underneath, Color Bridge Coated. Now this is leaning more into the orange brown with a little bit of pink red category. Underneath that, Color Bridge Uncoated. And with this, there's a mix that is a little bit more based into the warm brown that's been a part of some of the colors that we saw previously. Extended. You recognize some of these colors from our default, which they were named differently, as well as some of the previous yellows. Now, the cotton is interesting. In this palette, you notice that some of the shades are of a powdery gray or powdery blue. And so it's a very light offering of what is called cotton. And some of the names are very light and airy, such as Bright White, Cloud Dancer, Snow White, Marshmallow even. Underneath that, even more colors. Some of them are a little bit darker, and then you may have noticed some of the yellow tones that were from the previous palettes. Underneath another one, paper. So this is our paper palette, but you notice some of the familiar names from cotton and then some extended colors as well. Next, pastels and neons coated. So Even though these would be neon colors, they've been changed slightly to match pastels. Pastels and neons uncoated. Once again, some of the paper colors are in here, as well as a couple of the yellow and definitely the pastels. So it's a good mix. TCX. You notice some familiar colors from before. And now we have some very highly contrasted colors. So these colors are very bright. And you notice some of the colors have that bright name, like lemon tonic, safety yellow, orange pop, orange clownfish, shocking orange, fiery coral. So these colors are meant to pop and really give a lot of attention. Another. This goes back to referencing our cotton and also paper colors. And then finally, uncoated, which is recognizable to some of the shades that we saw before. So we do like a lot of the selections because this is what we have to clearly choose from. And it's a huge array of different library color mixes. So let's begin to choose a couple of colors. I think we should choose from the paper palette. Now, well, you'll notice that there is an open green box on all of the color chips. That open green box means that nothing has been selected. And how do we select it? Well, once we click on the open box, it fills with a check mark and the box actually turns solid green. So now the box has been selected. I'll just choose a few more. And I think that's enough. So now the system is letting you know that all of these have officially been selected and that these are the colors that will now represent the workshop palette. The only thing to do now is to confirm that with the system. Once I go to this recognizable plus sign, because this is what we used before in creating something new, you can see as I float over it, it now says add. It's going to pick up all of these colors as our new palette and it will save it. And it is confirming that 6 colored chips have been added successfully. And we always want to confirm that because the system has confirmed that it recognizes the color for our workshop palette. And now that is officially a part of our new color chips. Now we can also look for that color. Now, before, when it was not started, we said that we had no record, but we did start it and we completed it. Now, with this, I can actually close the tab and I will go to what I consider the home. This home button here is always going to be the Gerber YuniquePLM because it takes us to the very beginning. And I'm able to go back to where I started and let's just hit color search to see if our color palette actually saved. And there it is in capital letters because I wanted to find it quickly. It says workshop and it also says created by. You'll notice that YuniquePLM is very good with tracking changes, creating the names, so that you can see exactly when it was created and created by whom, as well as the season and the workshop. So this is all saved and it will save at the very top. But you also want to consider if there's a certain season name or line name, or maybe you want to use your initials. This will also help in finding your colors quickly. And you can also type the palette name in the open box. This area is meant for a search. So you can see here, palette search, color chip search. But if you just need to find your palette quickly, if it's not at the top, you can type it in and the system will recognize it as well. So in all these things, these are really helpful tools when it comes to creating our new palette. This is one of the useful ways that YuniquePLM recognizes that every time you create something new, something that's a good color, something that you want to have a history, it will save that. These are really great features for YuniquePLM, and the color is one of my favorite sections. And I'll go a little bit deeper into the presentation so you can see other features of the color system. If you have any questions, please email us at fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. See you next time for more Workshop Wednesday.